This is YSM Sports Media. Want to thank you for all your love and support. Really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, then click the notification button for all future content.
Here with Greg Hackett. What's good, G?
Chilly, man. Same bitch. Doing what we do.
What you got going on today?
Came over with TKO. They like the day, though. They only got 2 people working. I got, just got about the bed, see what's up, come over here early. Probably hit the lab at 4, over at 101. That's about it.
Okay. Now, one of your fighters, Rasheem Jefferson, returns to the ring on the 6th.
Yeah.
How's he looking?
Rasheem cool. I think at this point, just getting in the ring, just getting there. You know what I mean? He really been talking about his next fight before he even had a date. You know what I'm saying? Before he had a date, he kept saying, my next fight, I want to do this. My next fight, I'm going to do that. So I think we've been ready. Physically, got, 2.5 weeks? So just shaking out. He'd be ready.
Is it difficult being such a tall guy for a particular weight class and being a southpaw? Is it difficult to get fights?
I think it is for some guys, because if you don't have the backing, meaning a manager, a manager with some money or a promoter with some money, what happens is if you're not able to sell tickets and pay your opponent, it's gonna be tough getting fights. So you see, it's so many ways it could go. You could have the backing, but then if you just a dangerous situation for a fighter, they're not gonna want to fight you. Or if you don't have the backing, you don't have the money, you're gonna probably have to go up and wait to get fights, or either take tougher fights. You know what I mean? And a lot of times nowadays, guys want easy fights, and some of them don't deserve it because you gotta earn their name. You know what I mean? You gotta earn it to be able to pick what you want. So I would say it is for tall southpaws, skinny, lanky guys, if they can fight. But at the same time, it just depends on who you with, who you got, doing your business.
Explain the process. Like, how does prospects get fights and that whole thing? Because I'm not sure fans understand that fighters really don't get paid early on.
All right, so just like in college basketball, college football, guys like that, right? The teams who win the national championships, that's just like in boxing, the guys who win the nationals, the international tournaments, and possibly the Olympics, those guys are the blue chip guys. They're the higher ranked guys. Those are the guys that the top promotion companies, they want to pick them up early. So they might be not doing business with them before they turn pro, but just putting it out there that they're interested. So once they put it out there that they turn pro, that's when all the meetings and the phone calls start. And you start sitting down with guys. Those guys, they get with the top ranks, the PBCs, the match rooms and stuff like that. Golden Boys early on. Now then you got guys who don't have the major amateur background. Some of them because they started late. Some of them just wasn't able to make things happen. Those guys who usually end up fighting locally. So when they fighting locally, they selling tickets. The thing with that is when you selling tickets and you fighting locally, the competition usually not stiff at all. Usually fighting, easy fights. And they knocking those guys off. But then once they get to 10-0 and they get a call from Showbox or something like that to fight a guy maybe who was a top amateur or just a good fighter, now you got to show and prove. Then you got guys who never get a look from anybody, never get a chance to even talk to a promoter or a manager, and they just like, well, what do I do? That's usually your B-side guys. The B-side guys out here just trying to make something happen. Now, there's been guys who flipped the script where they started off as a B-side fighter and beat a few guys who they wasn't supposed to beat, and they ended up, doing business with a major promotional company. Matter of fact, like Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer started off like that, you know what I mean? But it usually got to do with how high an amateur you are. You know what I mean? How high ranked amateur you are. And if you're not a high ranked amateur, then you just gotta have some money behind you. If not, it's gonna be tough to move.
Why would I need to sell tickets to pay for my opponent?
Because the promoter can pay you. then how is the promoter making money? Because he got to pay you and the opponent. So if you ain't selling no tickets, I'm basically just losing money. I'm putting on the show, and my job is to promote, but I'm losing money. Now, the reason you paying for your opponent is because you bringing in a lesser caliber opponent. You know what I'm saying? You bringing in a guy, you turning pro, it's your debut, you bringing in a guy 1-4. Chances are you going to beat him.
So basically you're paying for a W.
You're paying for the W.
And normally it would be the manager that is paying for the opponent.
Yup. Manager or the promoter, depending on the deal that you have. Everybody's deal is different. Everybody's deal is different. For sure.
So basically managers and promoters are paying for their fighters to get experience and W's early in their careers.
Yup, and to get exposure.
Okay.
Like I might have a guy who can punch, but he's raw. Skill not really there, but he can punch. So I'm putting guys in there with him that got slow feet. Defense ain't that good. Head might be nice and big so he can crack the head. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get this guy to 6-0, 6 knockouts, everybody looking like, oh shit, he a beast. You know what I mean? Now here come the tickets. Everybody want tickets because they believe he a monster. I, as the promoter, might know the truth. The manager might know the truth, but the people don't know. They don't know how good he is. All they know is when they go to the fight, he knocking people out. And that's what people want to see. So that's what promoters hope to get when they sign guys. Somebody who's exciting to watch.
So matchmaking is basically the most important thing about it.
Match is one element of it. One element. I'll never say it's the most important because a matchmaker could be wrong based off of that guy might have really been training for this fight. See, matchmakers play a game. They call you and act like they're your friend. So, and they be like, yo, how long you been in the gym? I've been in the gym 2 weeks. Long and behold, you've been in the gym 5 weeks. You've been working already. I mean, really going at it. So, all right, I got to fight for you in 3 more weeks. You want it? All right, what is it worth? Y'all go back and forth. Y'all talk business. Y'all make it happen. Here, you got a full camp. He didn't know that. They basing it off the 3 weeks. You get in there and knock this guy off. And here we go. Here go a whole new story now.
From what I'm starting to figure is that the new game is catch a guy that's only been in the gym or for a couple weeks or hasn't been in the gym. That has a good record that you could build your prospect off of.
Yeah, that's not new. It's an old trick, and that trick been around for the longest because I gotta make sure my product look like what I say it is. So if I tell my product, meaning my fighter, I'm the promoter, I'm the manager, I'm telling my fighter, listen, we fighting on March 16th. Today is the 27th of January. That'll give my fighter a full camp. That's 6 weeks, right? The opponent, I already know who I want for his opponent. I probably got a list of 4 guys. I'm not going to call them until March 1st. And I'm going to say, yo, do you want to fight such and such? Do you know why them guys take the fight? Because they got bills to pay. They don't have nobody backing them. Their job is a good job, but it ain't nothing like making $4 grand in 2 weeks worth of work. How many people got jobs like that where they making $2,000 a week? I don't know a lot of people like that. I know some people got some money, but I'm being real about everyday jobs. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to take that fight. You know what I mean? And that's how they get you. So that's why they say stay ready. You don't have to get ready. But it's hard when you don't know when you fighting, especially for a guy on the B side. A side got the advantage because they always know when they fighting. Now, if the A side lose, shame on them.
And you said you've seen guys flip the script. Tevin Farmer with Gabriel Rosado be another guy that flipped the script.
Gabe Rosado, Tevin Farmer. But Gabe didn't really start off on the B side, but he ended up on the B side because he wasn't afraid to take fights. So he ended up on the B side. Now, where you can say Gabe flipped it is because he became famous. He became famous because of that, taking big fights and putting it on the line. And you got to take your head off the Gabe because he did it over and over again. Tevin Farmer defeated the odds where he started off on the B side, and he got in a better situation dealing with his manager at the time, Mark Ciparone, who helped him out. And you know, he took it to the moon. He rumbled his ass off. And he flipped the script.
So what advice would you give to a young amateur that's looking to have a career in the professionals?
I mean, if you're a young amateur, try your best in the amateurs. Win what you can win. Take it home. You know what I'm saying? Study. Keep working hard. Never stop training. Even if you go on vacation, go for a run. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Stay in shape because it's gonna add up in the end. You know what I'm saying? And you know, be ready to prove yourself. Don't think somebody's supposed to give you something. Nobody not giving you shit, especially not in boxing. You gotta earn that. You gotta really earn it. And when you earn it, you gotta have a great reason to say, well, I'm not fighting him, I'll fight him. And the only way I'm gonna allow you to do that is if you're doing what? Selling tickets. If you selling tickets, you can do what the fuck you want in this game. Look at Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. That was about ticket sales. That wasn't about nothing else. Conor McGregor wouldn't have fought nobody else because he ain't had no business in the boxing ring. You understand? But when you put Conor McGregor and Mayweather together, what do you get? Ticket sales. Big money. Let's do it. The problem is with the young fighters, they think they Mayweather. You ain't there yet. You gotta work. Put the work in. That's the problem. These dudes make a little bit of money. They walk around with the undefeated record and they Mayweather in their head. Not yet. You got a lot of work to do. So put the work in.